Hey, all you boys and girls out there in quarantine land. It's Grandma Shaw. And today we are going to read about the Yucky Reptile alphabet book. And this is by Jerry Paloda. Paloda, something like that. All right, are you guys ready? You guys ready to read some yucky reptiles? All right. A is for armadillo lizard. When attacked or frightened, the armadillo lizard pretends it is a pine cone. It sticks its tail in its mouth and rolls itself into a ball. Wow. B is for boa. This is an emerald tree boa. Boas swallow their meals whole because they cannot chew. The largest boas are called anacondas and can be almost as long as a school bus. Ugh, that is just scary. C is for chameleon. Chameleons can change color and make their skin match their surroundings. What is the most amazing, though, is that the chameleon's incredibly long tongue. Wow! It is really long. The chameleon's tongue can almost be twice as long as its body. Wow, that is a super long tongue. Its tongue is perfect for catching insects. Look at that. He caught a dragonfly. D is for diamondback terrapin. Terrapins are turtles. The diamondback terrapin has markings on its back that remind some people of diamonds. Maybe some of you have seen a turtle like that. E is for egg. These are crocodile eggs. Birds are not the only creatures that hatch from eggs. Most, but not all, reptiles are born that way. I know turtles are born from eggs. That's pretty cool. F is for frilled lizard. This Australian lizard pops up its collar and hisses when it wants to scare someone. It can also run very fast on its hind legs. Have you ever seen one of these frilled lizards? And they stand up on their back legs and they run. Pretty cool. I think I saw it on Animal Planet. G is for Gila monster. The Gila monster lives in the desert. It often has a fat tail. The Gila monster stores food in its tail for times when it cannot find enough to eat or drink. Look at all those cacti. There's their prickly cactus. H is for the horned toad. This reptile is not a toad. Since it is round and has such a short tail, people forget that it is a horned lizard. When horned lizards get mad, they squirt blood out of their eyes. Gross! That's just gross. All right. I is for iguana. These spooky-looking reptiles are sometimes movie stars. When movie makers take pictures of iguanas up close, the iguanas look just like gigantic dinosaurs. J is for joint snake. Joint snakes are also called glass snakes. They are about to break off sections, or they are able to break off sections of their tails. Joint snakes are not really snakes. They are legless lizards. Huh. Well, what about that? That's pretty cool. K is for the knob-tailed gecko. This reptile never blinks because it cannot move its eyelids. It licks its eyes to keep them clean. Maybe the knob-tailed gecko could use a pair of windshield wipers. The word knob begins with the silent letter K. Let's find a reptile whose name starts with the hard K sound. Oh, here's one. Komodo dragon. He is the largest lizard in the whole world. It is larger and longer than most people. Alyssa and I saw a Komodo dragon at the zoo. L is for leatherback turtle. This ocean turtle is the largest of all turtles. It is almost the most widely traveled of all reptiles. The leatherback turtle can be found all over the world in both warm waters and cold waters. M is for Moloch. Some people call this a mountain devil and some people call it a thorny devil. It would be hard to keep as a pet because it eats hundreds and hundreds of ants every day. Yeah, we don't want one of those in our house and have to feed it ants and then have ants in our house. That would not be a good thing. N is for night snake. Night snakes are nocturnal. This means they do not usually come out during the day. They are ready to come out as soon as the sun goes down. Can't even hardly see that. It's so dark. O. O is for the ornate box turtle. Box turtles have a hinged bottom shell which they can completely shut to protect their bodies. The ornate box turtle is prettier than other box turtles. Got a hinged bottom shell. That's kind of cool. P is for the pipe snake. The pipe snake has a neat way to fool other animals. It hides its head under its coiled body and it lifts up its tail. The end of its tail looks like its head. Wow, that's pretty tricky. That is super tricky. Q is for the queen snake. The queen snake is a water snake that may have gotten its name because it is a picky eater and likes fancy food. It prefers to eat only soft-shelled crayfish. R is for rattlesnake. These snakes make rattle noises by shaking the end of their tails. Not many people like to play with rattlesnakes because they have poisonous fangs in their mouths. There's rattlesnakes over in eastern Washington. And if one bites you, you would have to go to the hospital and get help because they are poisonous and they could kill you. S is for skink. Everyone has heard of a skunk, but how many of you have heard of a skink? On this page is a blue-tongued skink. It did not get its blue tongue from licking blue lollipops. It was born that way. I think I've seen some of you with a blue tongue before. T is for tuatara. A tuatara were alive when dinosaurs still roamed the earth. They are different than all other living reptiles, although they look like lizards. Wow. That's pretty cool that they were around when the dinosaurs were around. U is for Uritu. This snake has the letter U at the beginning of its name. It has the letter U in the middle of its name, and it has the letter U at the end of its name. The design of its skin even looks like the letter U. Huh. We've learned about a lot of snakes. V is for the vine snake. The vine snake is long and thin, and it looks like a skinny piece of green rope with a head attached. How can it remember where the end of its tail is? That's a long snake. W is for whiptail. In many places, almost all of the whiptails are female. When picked up, whiptails wiggle their heads from side to side. X is for the Xanthuscia rivershana. What? What kind of a name is that? This is the scientific name, and it is much too difficult for children. So people usually just call it an island night lizard. That's much easier to say, isn't it? Y is for the yellow-headed gecko. Some geckos have suction cups on their feet that allow them to climb steep, smooth walls. This yellow-headed gecko is cute, and maybe it would rather be red-headed, orange-headed, or purple-headed. But God made him yellow-headed. All right, one more page. What's the last letter? X, Y, and Z. Z is for zillions. Zillions and zillions of years ago, giant reptiles lived on the earth. The giant reptiles were dinosaurs, but that's another story for another day. Do you guys like dinosaurs? I might have to find a dinosaur book to read too. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story about the Yucky reptiles. And so some of you might not like reptiles and didn't want to look at these pictures because they were gross. But that's okay. But you know what? God made all those animals too. They're just all out there somewhere on this big old earth that we have. All kinds of strange creatures out there. All right, you guys. You have a good day. I will talk to you later. Bye from Grandma Shaw.